some people judge by what the people do. So there's people that you would judge based on what they say, like Donald Trump, and then there's people you would judge by how they look, like the Kardashians. People don't judge the Kardashians by what they say, because they don't say much. It's mostly pictures you see. So with these people, it kind of just depends on the person you're judging and the person who's judging.
Exactly, like Liam said. And also Donald Trump being him, he judges off of how much money you have, and he doesn't care about the poorer people. And if you judge people by that, like in the society today, that's not a very good way to judge people. And as well, some people judge off of personalities, what they say, what they do, etc., etc. And I would like to ask Kendall, do you have anything that you'd like to say on the subject?
Well, I agree with Faith on like the subject of like you're kind of like influenced into like this role that's like the picture perfect, especially with like social media and like the Kardashians, like they're like picture perfectness that's not behind the camera. It's not what they put out there. It's like we're influenced into this, but we need to like. It's kind of like my best friend. When you look at her, she's like not that role. She's like the more not as like, oh, money, like I wear all this, like fancy. But then you get to know them, and they're just like the nicest person you'll ever meet. Their personality is something that's like irreplaceable, and it's just like judging a book by its cover. You can't do that. It's not giving them a shot.
Just gonna say, the Kardashians are great. You know?
Great man.
You know? They're like, you know, they're famous. They set a role model for very many people. And I'm saying Kanye West 2020, Billy, obviously doing sex.
Okay. And just to say something, if you watch the Kardashian show,
now we're on the Kardashians.
No, just go back to the question. Alright, everyone, number 8. In American society, do we have different standards/expectations for members in different groups? Do you apply laws to the same people in different classes? Example, does a celebrity get treated the same as a normal person if they break the law? Give examples to defend your answer.
No, I do not think that people, like celebrities, get treated the same. Let's say if a celebrity does something bad, let's take Justin Bieber.
That's what I was going to say.
That's actually what I wrote on my paper. For example, Justin went to jail for drunk driving his car, and instead of having to pay time, he bailed himself out, and nobody objected. They're like, oh yeah, he's rich. He'll figure it out. He's young. And then if somebody else does it, they have to stay in prison forever.
Yeah. He's committed many crimes on that level. And
Most hated
no one,
person in the U.S.
yeah, including criminals, has actually gotten by a few times from these, like your example. And if a normal person committed any of these crimes that he has done, they'd be in jail for a long, long time. And many celebrities get treated much differently when it comes to breaking the law, because they're a celebrity and they have more money than everyone and they're better than everyone. You get my point. So does anyone else, like Sydney, have an idea on this topic?
So I don't think that people get like in different so people that are in different like situations get treated the same way, because like I watch Ellen a lot, and so like I know that like Sofia Vergara has gotten pulled over for speeding, but she didn't get any consequences because she was Sofia Vergara and she's famous and amazing. But like if like my mom got pulled over, she would have to pay a ticket. She would get a ticket and she'd have to pay.
One thing I said is that I kind of said yes because the laws do apply to everyone. Just another thing I said is that people who are famous have more people who are looking up to them. So when they do these things and they get caught, all these people see this. Let's just take Donald Trump for example. He hasn't done anything bad. But with all of his followers, if he were to do something bad, they would all be very angry with him because they look up to him and they expect him to behave better than that. So when you're a normal person and you're not famous and people don't see you on television every day, people don't really know about that. And if you were to do the same sort of thing, people would probably wonder why you did it. But people wouldn't be mad at you. They wouldn't expect you to behave better because nobody looks up to you. You're a normal person. But people who are of higher rank have people of lower rank who look up to them and wish to be like them, and then when they do bad things, people are like, oh, you did a bad thing, oh, this is horrible. So people do get out of jail because they're famous, but that's mostly because they have a lot of money and they can pay your way out. And a normal person, if they had the money, somebody bothered to pay for them to get out, they could get out of the same thing. It just has to do with who has the money and who's willing to pay for it.
Also, with some things, when a celebrity gets into jail, if they're on low ranks and if let's just say a celebrity runs out of cash at the moment for doing drugs or something like that, and a fan, like a bunch of fans, since they have that many fans, even though they're disappointed in that person, they looked up to that person, they're like, oh no, they can't do what they do, they're in jail, we need to bail them out. So they have a different opinion on them. And also, if like higher caste, going back to higher caste people, if they did something wrong, that would probably be the same opinion on us as a day. It just depends who's looking at it, who's interpreting it in different ways.
I think, it says here, American society, do we have different standards and expectations? I think we really do have different expectations and standards because we didn't really standardize caste system. We didn't really set one up. It's just based off of our own opinions.
Personally, I think that in like jail situations, celebrities do get treated the same.
Yeah,
Like, just since they like, I mean, even so, like if let's say a celebrity and some random Joe does the same. Okay, let's say I do the same thing, right? Me and a celebrity, we both robbed a bank, right?
Together.
Together. We robbed it together. So the celebrity, right? We'd get the same consequence probably. We'd probably get the same thing, except the celebrity, since the bailout fund to them is like, here you go, man. It's the same thing. Just because I can't pay that because I only have like $1 in my pocket. Just because I can't pay that doesn't mean like they get anything less punished. It's just easier for them to get out of punishment because they have so much money.
Okay. That's something.
Go ahead.
Faith, would you like to go?
Sure. So, we've been using the celebrity analogy, so I guess I'm going to use that again. And also the Kardashian analogy, I don't know what happened there, sorry. Analogy, so I'm going to use Kanye. For example, Kanye wants to run for president in 2020. I think that a lot of people are going to vote for him because he's a celebrity, where in truth, I have a feeling that if we are, let's say, at war with somebody, he's going to offer to rap for them to make peace. And it's not going to turn out well, but people are just going to vote for him because he's popular and he's famous. And this goes for everybody. I'm not hating against Kanye, I swear. Yeah.
Miss Noble? Do you have to have, like, to run for president, do you have to have certain, like, education? Or since, like, Kanye, does he have to be certified to run for president?
He has to be 36.
No, but do you have to have, because I thought you had to have, like, a governorship or something, like, somewhere in law or, like, state.